Good morning, everyone. Just have to wait a little before the tremble is gone, because when I touch my iPad, put it on, then all of a sudden it goes weeble, wibble, wibble. Okay, we're back. It's Sunday. It is almost 12. I mixed up some paints. I cleaned up the studio. And the thing is, when I clean up the studio, I have music on, and oh, I'm just so glad I can't video that, because when I do the music on the video, I get a copyright strike. But I think it's better for you guys because I do a lot of dancing like a crazy woman, and I guess that's good for the old muscles and the joints. So we're back. We have this ready. It's covered in the acrylic binder. If you want to see how I did this mess last week, you'll have to go back to the previous video. But right now we're going to cover it up with a nice layer of, I made a really, really dark green. Because black is, you know, just too easy. I think, you know, when you put black on, of course the effect is going to be superb. Yes, nice word, superb. But if you do it with color, you almost make black, but it is this, you can't really see it, it's this really nice dark green. And for the other one, which someone said looks like the Monet water lilies, I made a really, really dark blue. So that's what we're going to do. Now I have to get my biggest brush. Let's see, a really big brush. I think we could do it with this one. And we're going to cover this one up. And of course we're going to give it a little bit of water, because we really don't want this to dry up too fast, because this is where we're going to put our patterns in. So that's what we do. There we go. There, it's covering nicely. A little bit more water, because we really want to keep it moist, or we can't put the patterns in that easily if we don't have that. So there we go, a little bit shining through there and there, but that doesn't really matter, because you don't have to have a perfect layer all over, because we're going to be putting stuff in this paint. And if you have a little bit of background that, you know, just peeps through, that's really not such a big deal. Like here, you can see it's a little thinner than up here. You could add a little, but I think it might just give a different effect. And we're going to be choosing parts of this to put in a mat and frame, because I made the decision to take out all the AI generated art I have in frames downstairs, and I'm going to replace it with art I made like this. Like, I was almost going to say like the real art, but it's not real art. AI is also real art, but just different tools. Okay, I think we've done enough here. Got to get a little bit on here. Okay. Now, I've been thinking about how to do this, and I have a lot of tools, and there was things I'd really like to see, like this. See, that gives a nice, really nice little pattern. That's really kind of cute. I'll give you a close-up though. See how it shines through? And if we do that here and there, and then later go over it with something else, another tool, it'll just fade into the background, which is pretty much what I'm going for. I'm going to try to recreate those tulip sort of patterns. So that's what we have. Then we have like this kind of stuff, but we're going to be making a lot of, yeah, see that? That's a lot. And I really wanted it to be a little bit more subtle, but I'm going to leave it because you never know what or how that's going to work. And I have even a bigger one, as you can see here, which we're going to pull straight over it. And then I just might do a sideways one, because that looks sort of like stems of flowers, right? And then I'm going to come in, whoops, I think I have to wet it just a little bit because it's sort of drying on me pretty fast. And then I'm going to make these really flowery things come up. And then you still see this where I did that with the other tool, which is kind of nice. Got to take the paint off. Oh, I like that wobbly sort of a. So we're going to give it a little bit more for the leaves, but I gotta be careful that I don't go up because this isn't really what I'm looking for up here. And as you can see, you can always, the little mistakes you make, you can always, you know, come back in with your brush and do something with it. I do need a little piece of paper to clean my tools. There, we're going to give it another one here. And we're going to come in with a really nice color to do something with the background, of course. It's not going to just be like this, although I really like that. See, even when you've done this a couple of times before, it's sort of giving you ideas how to use some tools. This is really a tool from, oh, it's almost popping out. This is a tool for clay, but as you can see, it's pretty cool for doing this kind of thing too. So now I'm putting in the bigger one, the larger leaves. That's that. And now I got to focus on this because this is where those tulipy things are going to be. And that has to be with a pretty big tool. I'm thinking this one. Let's see how this works. Yeah, that's kind of nice looking. Yep, that's working. I kind of like doing this, guys. This is fun. Now you might even have your own art that sometimes you make something you don't like it that much, but it has a lot of color and it has a lot of things you do like. What you could do is just come and cover it with one of these layers that I made. I'll talk about how I made that in a bit. And then just make something different out of it. Because sometimes, you know, when you have art that's just laying there because you don't really like it, I think sometimes you just have to go with your feeling and make something different out of it. But I have to go in here again with some other tool because just doing this isn't doing it for me. So I have to come in and put it a little, oopsie there, I don't want that. I don't want that part showing because then we're going to go into the green, and this is more of the flowery part. One down here. And I keep on cleaning the palette knife because there's a lot of buildup when you take it off like this. Okay, then we want to come in up here with some tools. And I think we should have done this before we did the palette knife. Sort of the idea I'm getting out of it. But we could go through it like that. That's a bit different. I like that. Then come back in here with the palette knife and make that flower perfect again. Yeah, that looks better. And I have these little ones, these little rubbery. On one side it has that little pin thing, and on the other side, I think this is used for nails, for nail artists use these. So that's kind of where I get my stuff. Just go on Temu or on AliExpress or whatever, and you get 5 of these for like $1. I like that wobbly movement. Okay. Now remember, we're going to come back in and paint over parts of this. So we do want to see some little movement in between here. This is used to, you know, put oil or something on your food. Really cheap, dollar store. Sometimes I just go through a shop and I see, you know, cheap stuff, cheap little items, and that sort of makes me want to, oh, that is kind of nice. See that? And that just makes me want to buy it, you know, just for this kind of purpose. I'm going to give it a little more here because I really like the details that this thing gives. So right now down here looks like leaves, and it looks like there's a little bit of, I don't know, stuff growing in between. That's nice. This is a keeper. This is a good one. Then I also had a toothbrush which sort of rubs it. This leaves even smaller impressions, sort of rubs it a little bit, so we're not going to be using this one too much. Nah, this is really small. You have to be really close up to see what this leaves. Now we have these clay things for children to use with their clay. That does a lot, but I don't want to do too much with that. It's really pulling the paint off though. Just a little on the edge here. And then of course I had my little popsicle sticks, which I used last year. And I might want to go around these flowers with it to give it just a little bit more of a dramatic look. Okay, this one's finished. Gotta stop. You gotta know when to stop. So I'm liking it. I have this part where you have the flowers and then the leaves, and you have nothing in between. I kind of like that. It'll divide it up a little bit. So this one will keep. Now this one, this is a different one, and I don't think it's going to hurt if I use the same brush because it's all dark. Might even give it something cool looking. Now this is, yeah, that's nice. It's really blue. It's really nice and dark blue. You know the thing, guys, this is going to be a long video again. I don't mind uploading these long videos. The thing is that I can't really speed them up because I'm talking too much. Then you'll miss half of what I'm trying to say or explain or whatever. And that's why I can't speed it up. But you can skip through it. The people that don't want to listen to my jibber jabber, they can just skip through it. No problem whatsoever. There we go. That's nice and dark blue. I love the color. I also like what it's doing to the background. How it's going to pick it up. But of course we've got to think about the pattern we're going to want on this one, because I don't want the same one as I already had on the other. So this one has to have something different. And I'm thinking a little bit bigger. That's Cooper downstairs. Really everything in front of the house, what's going on, he's always yakking on about it. I don't mind. You know, that's what dogs do. He likes to do that. He thinks he's protecting us in some strange way. That's okay. Now, okay, what I wanted is something like big water lily leaves. So I'm thinking, oh, I could use a bottle cap. Yeah, that might be better. Bottle cap. Of course, all my big bottle caps are gone. Let's see what happens. Nah, looks too much like a rose. I don't want to do that. I'll just have to get a bottle cap off one of my bottles. That's just giving me a little, although I do like that. If I do that enough, that is kind of nice. Look at that. See that? But let's not do that. We're going to try it with this. Yeah, that's better. Do it in the middle though too. We're going to make these really big sort of water lily things coming out. I'm going to come back in with a moist piece of paper. Yep. That's not enough. That's kind of what I was looking for. But I think I got to be really quick because the paint is already drying though. Okay, let's do that. And then we're going to come back in with some tools on top of this. Okay, get one here too. And then I'm going to go over it with the other tools. That's a kind of it. Then we're going to come over. Ooh, got to wet it again. Then we're going to come in with this. Now you got to do this because if you do the wiggly thing, I don't know, I don't like the wiggly thing. Yep. And then I'm going to come in with a little bit of plastic. He's really at it downstairs. Cooper, what are you doing? Okay, we're going to do this. Yeah, that's it. We like that. Yep, that's it. Pull the rest out. I think I'm gonna just use one more tool, one of those rubbery things. He's gonna keep on going like that for a long while because I think someone's in front of the house doing something. Yep, still going at it. Oops, I already did that one. I kind of really like this. Can you see what's happening, guys? This is really nice. I'm doing it fast because he's going to keep on barking like that, and I don't want to have one video full of barking. That's about it. I'll keep it like that. Yep. Okay, when I show this to you next time, it'll be finished, and I want to use, I think I'm going to use white to accentuate some parts of this, and that's going to take a long time to do that. So I don't want to do that on video, but when you're back, we're going to have a nice little look about this. Might need to take a little bit off there, and I'll talk you through what I did. Yeah, that's better. Okay, that's what it's turned into. So thanks for watching, guys. I know it's a long video. Don't mind if you skip right through it. Love you to pieces, and I'll see you next week.